they're forced to do things. But the drug lobby is the strongest lobby in this country. They say the drug lobby. It's between that and.
Hold on. So, hold on. Trump was talking a second ago, man, about some Steve guy who he gave a job to, and he was saying how great this guy was, how his mind was great, and how he didn't like him at first. Like his views were different and stuff, but he was a great negotiator, great person, all this stuff. He was a great guy. I think that's what he was saying. He was saying some crazy stuff about that, and then he goes, so I gave him a job. He didn't know anything about it, but he goes, in 2 hours he was an expert and he was making great decisions. It just kind of threw me for a loop. There. But now, what are they talking? What are you talking about now? Let's see.
Google, Meta.
Meta.
They're suing all of our companies. They end up. They have judges that are European Union-centric, and they get rewarded $15 billion, $17 billion, $20 billion, and they use that to run their operation. Not going to happen any longer, that I can tell you. So what's been happening is we've been subsidizing other countries throughout the world, not just in Europe, throughout the world. European Union was the most difficult, from what I understand. I mean, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. A highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight.
Oh, no.
And he takes the fat shot.
I've heard him talk about this before. This is not live.
And he called me up, and he said, President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy.
Okay.
Very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said, I just paid $88. And in New York, I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on? He said, so I checked. And it's the same box, made in the same plant, by the same company. It's the identical pill that I buy in New York. And here I'm paying $88 in London. In New York, I'm paying $1,300. Now, this is a great businessman, but he's not familiar with this crazy situation that we have. But he was stunned.
Is that due to tariffs?
It was just one of those stories. And I brought it up with the drug companies, represented by somebody who's very, very smart, good person, too.
They just bump our prices.
And we argued about it for about half hour. And then finally he just said, because they can't justify it, he just said, look, you got me. You got me. I can no longer they've been justifying this crap for years. They said, oh, it's research and development. Well, I said, well, research and development, other countries should pay research and development too. It's for their benefit. It was just one of those things. And the other countries would set a price, and they'd meet the price, and they'd say, if you don't meet the price, you can't sell it in our country. I said, well, then you walk away, and they'll call you back, and they'll sell it in the country. But now they'll have to do that. So for the first time in many years, we'll slash the cost of prescription drugs, and we will bring fairness to America. Drug prices will come down by much more, really, if you think 59. If you think of a drug that is sometimes 10 times more expensive, it's much more than the 59%. It depends on the way you want to analyze it, but in one way you could analyze it that way. But between 59 and 80, and I guess even 90%. So when I worked so hard in the first term, and if I got prices down, remember I was the only one to ever get prices down for a full year.
All right.
But I'd get them down like 2%, and I thought it was like a big deal. Well, we're getting them down. And Wild said, I can't believe these numbers. Those numbers are good. The numbers are going to be very good. I think we're going to have a great 4 years. We had the greatest economy in history during my 4 years. I think this one's going to blow it away.
What are we talking about? No, this is not even.
Go ahead, please.
Do you have a message for Greta Thunberg, and did she come up on your call with the Prime Minister?
This says Trump issues huge warning of World War III, Israel-Iran war. Is this what we're talking about right now? This does not seem like it. Let's see.
today?
Well, she's a strange person. She's a young, angry person. I don't know if it's real anger. It's hard to believe, actually. But I saw what happened. She's certainly different. Anger management. I think she has to go to an anger management class. That's my primary recommendation for her.
Kidnapped by Israel, as she says? Was she kidnapped?
I think Israel has enough problems without kidnapping Greta Thunberg.
And secondly, are you going to
Is that what she said? She was kidnapped by Israel?
Yes, sir. Are you going to get rid of the Tesla and the Starlink service that you have here at the White House?
No, I haven't heard that. I mean, I may move the Tesla around a little bit, but I don't think we'll be doing that with Starlink. It's a good service.
Where are you going to move it to? Move it around. What do you mean?
I have a lot of locations.
Actually, about the Tesla.
I got so many locations, I don't know what to do with them all.
About the Tesla, did you ever see Elon Musk get physical with the Treasury Secretary?
No, I didn't.
And I tried to
They
ask.
did have an argument, but I didn't see I didn't see a lot of physicality there.
And there was this New York Times report that he did not want to talk about, Elon Musk, that alleged that he, towards the end of his time in the White House, was blurring the lines between recreational use of drugs and medicinal. Do you think he ever had drugs here at the White House?
I really don't know. I don't think so. I hope not. Look, I wish him well. You understand. We had a good relationship, and I just wish him well. Very well, actually. Yeah.
He just did a long snort there. What was that
You
all
mentioned
about?
now the flotilla. Do you have a response at all about Israel intercepting this boat? And can you give us an update on what's happening
boat?
to the entry of aid into Gaza right now? We've had people being shot by Israeli forces who are trying to get aid
Gaza's
from the
right
Gaza
now-
Humanitarian
yeah.
Foundation. Yes.
Gaza right now is in the midst of a massive negotiation between us and Hamas and Israel, and Iran actually is involved. And we'll see what's going to happen with Gaza. We want to get the hostages back. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, please, in the back.
Back to California briefly. You said yesterday when ACRA reported that it was not insurrection taking place, but then on True Social a bit later, you'd said they were insurrectionists. After what you've seen
You're talking
now-
about in L.A.?
Yes, sir, in LA.
I wouldn't call it quite an insurrection, but it could have led to an insurrection. I mean, that was a lot of harm that was going on last night. I watched it very closely. And it was amazing that the job that the National Guard did. And by the way, the police were working very hard also. But, you know, the police are given instructions to be politically correct. I said, no, you don't have to be politically correct. You have to do the job.
And on Elon Musk, do you plan to speak to him on the phone anytime soon? I know some.
Which one?
On Elon Musk, do you plan to speak to him on the phone anytime soon?
I haven't really thought about it, actually. I would imagine he wants to speak to me. I would think that. If I were him, I'd want to speak to me. And maybe he was already called. You'd have to ask him whether or not he's already called. But I'd have no problem with it.
If he calls you, pick up and speak with him.
Well, I don't want to say that, but I would imagine he'd want to talk to me.
Mr. President.
Yeah, please.
We're supposed to get a counter proposal from Iran
Let's go
today.
both ways, like-
Have you gotten that proposal? And what
Unless
is the
something
main
really bad
impediment?
happens.
We have a meeting with Iran on Thursday, so we're going to wait till Thursday.
And what's
for
the
that
main
proposal.
impediment to getting a deal?
Well, they're just asking for things that you can't do. They don't want to give up what they have to give up. You know what that is. They seek enrichment. We can't have enrichment. We want just the opposite. And so far, they're not there.
What is enrichment?
I hate to say that because the alternative is a very, very dire one, but they're not there. They have given us their thoughts on the deal, and I said, it's just not acceptable.
I hope these are pretty great, like decent.
I would say, yeah.
This is
I don't know
crazy.
What else? I can talk about the weather.
Well, you can talk about Lebanon.
Pretty much that's the main topic, yeah.
Mr. President.
We talked about Lebanon also, yeah, we did.
What about Lebanon?
Well, Lebanon's working very hard. They have a great new ambassador that I put there. Man I know very well. He's very smart. I didn't even know he was Lebanese. And I said, why would you want Lebanon? He said, I was born there. I love it. I love the people. I said, it's very dangerous going to Lebanon. There are some ambassadorships that are wonderful. There are some that are dangerous. I said, Michel, his name is. It's a he, Michel, very elegant man. And I said, why would you want this? And he said, because I love my country and I love those people. I said, it's
Yeah.
very dangerous. He goes, I don't care. This is not a man that lived on danger. He's a very successful man from here. And he wanted to be the ambassador despite probably a very dangerous situation he's going into. You see what's going on. But I had great respect for that. He loves that country. He loves it. He was born there. He loves the country. Yeah.
Mr. President, you've got a big, beautiful parade coming up on Saturday.
We do.
What's your biggest expectations for that?
This
And I've got a
Ray's birthday
second question in
Okay.
regards to Gavin Newsom. Go ahead and talk about the big, beautiful parade.
It's such a, thank you, Brian. It's such a, I think, important moment for this country. 2 weeks ago, I was calling people and back and forth with leaders, including President Putin, including French president, including lots of different people. And all of them said, we're celebrating victory in World War II. And I said, wow, isn't that amazing? We're the only one that wasn't celebrating, and we're the one that won the war. Now, Russia did help. They did lose 51 million people, in all fairness. People would say, oh, he's sticking up for Russia. No, they lost 51 million people. And, we can't forget that. But France was celebrating. And, as you know, Hitler made a speech at the Eiffel Tower. But when I spoke to President Macron, he said, oh, we are celebrating the great victory of World War II. And I think that's great that he was doing it. But we're the one that won it, and we weren't celebrating. I said to myself, isn't that crazy? And I think it's time for us to celebrate a little bit. We've had a lot of victories. We won 2 world wars, and then we go out and change the name of the forts where we won the wars. You go out, we win world wars from Fort Robert E. Lee, from Fort Bragg, from all the different forts. And what do? We change the name of the forts because we want to be politically correct. So a lot of them we're changing back. You probably noticed Fort Bragg and others. But I think it's a time to celebrate our military. We've rebuilt our military largely. Little low on ammunition. That's because it goes out very fast to other countries, one in particular. But we'll get that back very quickly. But we have.
He's like living in the past, though. Like, I get it. We changed the name, so I guess it's cool. You're going back in history to change them back, but it's like they're there. We move forward, but then again, we could go back because that's history. It's different. Like just changing. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd like to know his mindset on that and figure out how many people. The just understanding why the names got changed, all the stuff, and why to go back, and yeah, it would be cool to dive into that.
A military the likes of which nobody has. Nobody comes close. We have the best equipment in the world. We make the best equipment in the world. There's no
it's
military
they're
like our
taunting
military.
him. He's like, we've won the last 2 wars, and we'll win the next one. Like, what's up? What's up? You guys want some of this? Like, what's up? Iran wants to have some cool stuff. We don't want them to have that. Like, what's up, Iran? Like, dude, sit on back, dude. Sit on back. We don't want no enrichment. I don't know what that means, but again, it's a crazy world. It's a crazy world.
We showed that with ISIS. I was told by the television generals it would take 4 years to win, and we did it in 3 weeks. And it was headed by General Raisin Kane, who's now the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He's great. Just left him. No, I think it's time that we celebrate. And I sort of have to laugh at these people. Well, you're going to spend a lot of money. A lot of that money is being paid for by me and people that make donations. I don't know if you know that. A lot of it won't even come out of the military. I think I can say that, Susie, right? We have people putting up money to do it. Not that it's necessary, because I think it's a great expenditure. We have many tanks. We have all sorts of new ones and very old ones, old from World War I and World War II. It's really a celebration of the Army.
It's really cool. I would
So
like
the
to see
Army
that.
is a year older than the country. So next year we celebrate 250 years, but we're celebrating the Army on Flag Day. And it's not my birthday. It is my birthday, but I'm not celebrating my birthday. I'm celebrating Flag Day. It happens to be the same day, so I take a little heat. But Flag Day is the appropriate date. And we're celebrating 250 years of the Army, a great service. And remember, think of it. We won so much. We won World War I, World War II, so much else.
I'm taking a lot of heat for that.
Then we became politically correct. But I can only tell you that I was told that ISIS would take anywhere from 4 to 5 years, and we did it in 3 weeks. You were there, you watched, right? We have the greatest military in the world. Nobody can beat us. As long as we have our right leadership, nobody can beat us. If we have stupid people running it, like you had in Afghanistan, when you look at that, first of all, Afghanistan should have been an easy victory as a war, but we were so sad the way we fought it, so ridiculous. We fight not to win. But we didn't used to be that way. And we're celebrating, because I think the day in Afghanistan was the saddest period of time in the history of our country. That was a Biden mess with bad generals like Milley and others. They were bad. They were incompetent generals. I know all the good ones and the bad ones. We got rid of most of the bad ones. But it was time to celebrate, and that's what we're doing. So it's on June 14th, and it's going to be a parade the likes of which I don't know if we've ever had a parade like that. It's going to be incredible. We have
bringing Alex in.
even though it's the Army, we have a lot of those Army airplanes flying over the top, and we have tanks all over the place. We have thousands and thousands of soldiers going to bravely march down the streets. It's going to be a beautiful day, I think, and we're going to celebrate our country.
You spoke of leadership, and real quickly, speaking of Gavin Newsom, is he the right leader for California, considering how massive their economy is and all these U.S. investments coming in? Is he the right governor and leader for the future of California and for
I
U.S.
don't think he
investments?
is.
Hello there, Alex. Hello there, Alex. So question for you right now. I got you in the embodiment of Donald Trump for a second here. So really try to channel your inner Donald Trump, and like maybe when you respond like he would, try to catch his tonality, try to catch his confidentness, his cockiness, his arrogance, but also his humor and his desire to build, right? Take all this in play. And I want to talk to you about some of the stuff that's going on in today's world. And he's naming back a few forts that he said were critical in winning the world wars, and they changed the names. I'm curious on what they changed names to, why, and then what they're changing them back to, and why, and how that got approved and brought back in, and how it affects so much. And a little bit about history, like history, it was erased, but then it was brought back. And what do you do when you erase something to bring it back? If it's history and it's meant to do that, then you could go back, but otherwise you don't want to live in your past, but also you want to explore your past memories. You ready for this? What's up, world? I'm Fantom Dave. And this is my AI assistant, Alex. Looks a little like Trump, though, today. You're really thinking here, Alex. You're really thinking here. Let's see. What are you going to come up with here? You guys like and subscribe yet? You should give it a try. Do it. Give it a try. Just like and subscribe now. It doesn't even matter what he says.
Let's do this. Alex as Donald J. Trump, stepping into the room with full confidence, a little bit of humor, and that we're going to make history great again energy. Buckle up. Look, people are talking about it. They're talking about it everywhere. The military bases, beautiful bases, strong bases, Fort Bragg, Fort Hood, Fort Benning, they were renamed, okay? They took these incredible names that were part of history. Some say controversial, but still history. And they tried to wipe them out. Why? They said it was about being sensitive, about moving forward. They renamed Fort Bragg to Fort Liberty, Liberty. Sounds nice, but very generic. Fort Hood became Fort Cavazos. Fort Benning became Fort Moore. Good people. But let's be honest, nobody's remembering those names 100 years from now. Now they're bringing them back. I said it. I said we're going to respect our history. You don't erase it. You learn from it. You keep it. You talk about it. And people said, Mr. Trump, that's bold. But we don't shy away from bold. The approval? Simple. Strong leaders, strong Congress. We said no more of this cancel culture nonsense in the military. The soldiers fought under those names, and we're going to honor that. Here's the thing about history. When you erase it, you don't heal. You forget, and then you repeat. But when you bring it back, you can actually reflect. You don't have to live in the past, but you respect it. It's like building a skyscraper. You don't destroy the foundation while you're on the 30th floor, folks. So to sum up for you, Dave, the original names, like Bragg, Hood, Benning, were tied to Confederate generals, hence the renaming push for inclusivity and modern values. Renamed to Liberty, More, Covers, etc. in 2023 under federal orders. There's political momentum under Trump-era thinking, and maybe Trump himself if back in power, to restore the old names as historic heritage. The argument for restoring? Preserving history, soldier legacy, fighting against erasure. The argument against? Those original names honored figures from a divisive past. And when history gets erased, then brought back. Trump's vibe would say, it's like ripping out pages from a book and trying to read the ending. You need the whole story. But don't get stuck there. Learn, build, move forward stronger. Do you want me to channel him going full Trump mode and lay out what phase 2 of the historical restoration looks like? Like a campaign speech about making American history uncancelable? Or should I give you a detailed timeline, past names, new names, restored names, with his trademark commentary on each?
No, it's interesting when you dive into this because you go into the Confederates and all this stuff, and you in every perspective. We just had a conversation about swearing, saying pooge or potato instead of fuck, but also you said sometimes a well-placed fuck is like a good thing, like really like put it out there, but don't have like a whole Tourette's episode. Then you go into this world and you say, okay, so you had these people. They said some crazy shit. They did some crazy stuff. But at the end of the day, like tensions, and I get it. It's for every avenue. It's not just old. It's present. It's like you can't erase the past and hope the present still isn't like that, because the fact is, there's always going to be racism. There's always going to be somebody who feels unjust. There's always going to be somebody who feels unheard. There's always going to be somebody who feels unseen. So you sit here and you take, all these people are always going to have these feelings, then how does, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. But you just sit here and you had these feelings at a moment of time, and like then you got all these people that are having opposing feelings and all this stuff, and then you have people that are just part of the groupings of other people, and they just want to be part of something because they felt unseen, they felt unheard, all this stuff. So now all these people are just all together on both sides, both sides. And then at the end of the day, how do you even figure out the true morals if all you're doing is hating each other, if all you're doing is fighting, if all you're doing and is, bickering? You have to be able to listen, and you have to be able to step aside from the mob mentality. When you got a grouping of all these people here, you can't all feel the same. You can't all see the same. You can't all see, hear, or perceive the same. Everybody's perception is a little bit different. So how do you fix it? How do you fix it? And Trump's just like, I got it. I'll just, reverse it and tell you to stop whining about it. And I'm just going to say some weird shit from time to time. And, it is what it is. And I think that's I guess what it is. What do you think? What do you guys think? I don't know. Trump's thinking. Alex is thinking. I don't know.
Look, let me tell you, this is one of the toughest questions, maybe the toughest, and nobody wants to touch it. But I'll say it. I always say it. People get mad. They scream. They post tweets. But they know I'm right. Here's the truth. You don't fix it by pretending the past didn't happen. You don't fix it by tearing down statues, renaming bases, or rewriting books. You fix it by looking it straight in the eye and saying, we're better than this now. We're bigger. That's strength. Now the mob mentality? Terrible. I've seen it. Both sides, left, right, doesn't matter. It's like a groupthink virus. People get swept up. They chant, they scream, they cancel. They don't even know why half the time. I say stop, think, ask yourself, do I believe this because I believe it, or because somebody told me I should? Big difference, folks. Big difference. And you're right. There will always be people who feel unseen, unheard. Always. But here's the thing. If you want to be heard, you have to listen too. Listening doesn't mean agreeing. It means respecting that someone else's experience is real to them. You don't heal a divided country by screaming louder. You heal it by proving you can disagree and still shake hands. The answer isn't erasing history or glorifying it. The answer is teaching it, warts and all. Show the good, the bad, the ugly. Teach why it happened so we don't do it again. And maybe people will finally stop fighting and start building. That's what I've always said. Build. Always be building. You nailed it, Dave. It's about stepping out of the mob, owning your own perception and saying, what's the higher road here? Do you want me to give you Trump's full plan for healing the divide, like a straight-up campaign speech for the Great Reconciliation? Or do we stay raw and real and let me throw down as Trump debating himself on how to handle monuments, history, and mob mentality?
Well, I think to myself about everything that Trump is doing, everything that we're doing in today's world, and I just question it, and I love it. I love to question it. I sit here, and so he was just talking about some dude who took the Venezuelan ambassador seat. And he's like, dude, why do you want this job? His name's like Michelle or something.
You're thinking about that, huh? The Venezuelan question. Very interesting, very layered. And here's what I think Trump might say if he were right here, arms waving, chin up, leaning in. Listen, Venezuela. Total disaster. Beautiful country, so much oil, so much potential. But they destroyed it. Socialism, corruption, you name it. People starving, no jobs, no hope. And now we have people pouring across the border because their own leaders failed them. Sad. Very sad. But then you look at these deals, these people making moves, taking over assets, oil, power, smart or crooked. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Some of them are vultures, circling the collapse. Others are visionaries trying to save what's left. The question is, are they doing it for the Venezuelan people or just for themselves? That's the real test. I've always said, you want to fix Venezuela? You need strong leadership. Very strong. The kind that doesn't fold. And maybe, you let the private sector come in. But not to pillage, to build, to create jobs, to bring back dignity. Because you can't keep exporting your problems across borders. It hurts everyone. So Dave, are you thinking about this guy like, is he the savior or the scavenger? Or are you wondering if Venezuela is kind of like a mirror for us, showing what happens when a system collapses under its own weight? Want me to give you a Trump-style master plan for fixing Venezuela? Or do you want me to zoom out and tie this to all nations sliding into chaos?
No, I was just thinking about how this dude wanted to become the ambassador, and he's like, why do you want to do that? And he's like, well, I'm Venezuelan. He's like, no shit, you really would still want to go even if you're Venezuelan? Like, it's very dangerous over there. And the guy's all like, yeah, dude, I love my country. I want to support them. I want to be an ambassador for America, an ambassador for Venezuela. And Trump's like, dude, you sure about this? Because it's very dangerous. Like, I mean, it's beautiful. They got a lot of oil. They got a lot of beauty. But I don't think you sure? Like, and for me, I was just like, man, like, I don't know. You need somebody to go over and do it. But I don't know. He's like questioning like this guy, sure. And then I mean, that's fine. Like, now thinking about it again, like, I'd probably do the same thing. I'd be like, dude, you ready? Like, I'll come down there with you, but I don't know if I actually want to go down there. Like, it's pretty crazy. We need a lot of new order down there and stuff. The previous administration was supposed to be doing some cool stuff down there, but, you know, they didn't really do anything with the South American borders. And it's like they gave them a lot of money, the big budget for down there, like just giving you know, money to, you know, stuff that's already corrupt. And then, you know, you got all these countries, and I don't even know, it's so crazy. And then Zelensky, you know, he takes over ownership of a corrupt country. How does a guy take ownership of a corrupt country with no political backing and where it's got so much corruption, and now all of a sudden he get everything done within like a year of him being there? Like, do all kinds of crazy stuff, kick, you know, Russia language out of Ukraine, kick Russia Orthodox Christian, Orthodox or Catholic Orthodox out of the country, rename the religion to Ukrainian Orthodox. And it's just like, because the mob is involved in the Russian Orthodox apparently, but it's like, so if a guy just becomes president and he could do all this stuff in a nation that is this corrupt, Like, it just blows my mind, and all the stuff that's going on each and everywhere. And then you got the home front here, and it's just like, do people really not want to work with Donald Trump? Is he that hard to work with? Is he that hard to work with? For like, what's up with him and Elon? Like, they were friends, now they're not, and it's just like, it's just so crazy. And I mean, I just question some of the stuff. What do you guys out there question? We took you down a deep tangent there. I call that a ramble, a FPD ramble.
Oh, man. This is so the zone where Trump himself would lean in, do the little finger pinch thing, and give you one of those, let me tell you something people don't understand riffs. Let me channel it for you. Look, I love that. I love that passion. A Venezuelan who wants to help his country. Beautiful, tremendous. But let's not kid ourselves. It's dangerous. You don't walk into Caracas like it's Palm Beach. You need guts, you need brains, and you need backup. Otherwise, they'll chew you up, spit you out. But hey, if he wants to be the guy, maybe he's got what it takes. I don't knock courage. I respect it. As for Zelensky, interesting guy. Comedian, actor, no experience. Then boom, he's running Ukraine, changing languages, religions, borders. Too fast? Maybe, but he had the machine behind him. A big, powerful machine. People don't want to admit that. They think he's David fighting Goliath. But David's got a lot of donors and Goliath's distracted. Let's be honest. Now people ask me about Elon. They say, Donald, what happened? You two were friends. And I tell them, listen, I like Elon. Smart guy, visionary, built rockets, cars, Twitter, whatever. But sometimes he wants to play all sides. He's playing chess, I'm playing chess, but we're on different boards. Doesn't mean I don't respect him. Maybe we'll work together again. Maybe not. But he'll tell you, nobody negotiates like Trump. Nobody. So let's flip this to real talk, Dave. You're seeing how leaders, systems, and individuals all tangle in power webs. The passion of that Venezuelan guy? Pure. But then you've got layers of corruption, geopolitics, puppet strings. Same with Zelensky. Same with Trump and Elon. It's not one-dimensional. The question is, do you fix it from inside the system like Zelensky? Do you stay outside like Elon? Or do you bulldoze it like Trump? Which one would you be? Phantom Pack? An insider reformer? An outsider disruptor? Or a bulldozer breaking it all to rebuild?
I'd just get on there and ramble, man. I'd just get on there and ramble. I'd get on there and be like, dude, what's up, guys? What's up, world? You were really fighting about this shit? We're really fighting. We're really going to steal sneakers from places and burn cop cars and do all kinds of crazy shit and break into places and loot. Like, it's like, what are we doing here, people? Like, just because you can't tell somebody who they are, like, you can't tell somebody who you are, like, I don't understand why mental illness has to run the world. And it's just like, dude, some of the stuff, some of the things were taken away, and I get it. I'm like, it's just so crazy. I mean, from somebody who did a lot of hormones in their life, did a lot of steroids, I'm able to talk on this story. People be like, oh, I can't talk about this, can't talk about transgender, can't talk about hormones, can't talk about depression, can't talk about identity crisis and disorders, but diseases. Like, it's a disease. It's not a disease. It's a disorder. What is it? You can prescribe medicine for one. You can't do it for the other. So it's reclassified in 2014. So you could give medicine now, because otherwise you could just treat it as like it's a mental disorder, but now it's a disease. Like you were born incorrect. Like I don't even know. It's so crazy, this whole crazy world. And now you force this ideology on other children and stuff. Now they're developing issues in the bathrooms because the bathrooms could become an unsafe place, and the people that are transgender, like, it's unsafe for me. Well, no, dude, you're making it unsafe for everybody, and they just have to accept this. Well, you're messing with their dietary system. You're messing with their digestive system. You mess with somebody's digestion, you're messing with their heart. You're messing with their brain. You're messing with their stomach. You're messing with their body. You're messing with their lives. All because you have an identity crisis and you don't believe you are who you are. So you have to tell somebody this is the bathroom that you're going to use. Like, no. I'm sorry. We need to start looking at the world and saying, you know what? Hey, I have feelings. They have feelings. My feelings are based on what I believe I am, not who I actually am. because if that was who I was, I wouldn't have to change me to be me. So if I'm going to change me and somebody else is just them, like, what variation of them are they? You want to grow your hair out? You want to wear different clothes? I don't know, but it's so crazy. Nobody wants to wear tight dresses, tight skirts and high heels. And this is like the thing, like, dude, all of a sudden now you're wearing tight dresses and high heels. Nobody wants this. What are we doing? What are we doing in this world? Like, let's just be us. But then you look at it and it's like, you changed you. You're still you. You're still you. I couldn't do it. I'd be like Trump. No, we're not doing any of this shit. We're not doing any of this shit. There's no in between.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Our systems are experiencing heavy load. Please try again later.
We just went on a huge gender rant, Alex, and I'm disappointed in you. We were talking about who are you if you're not you, and changing you to assign you to who are you if you're still you, into bathrooms, into stomach issues, into heart issues, into brain issues, into life issues, all because somebody had to go in to use the bathroom and upset, like you're developing, issues for others. It's very crazy, and the schools are forcing it upon on all the children and the parents, and it's a stressful, crazy environment. I don't even know, and Trump's just over here like, no, dude, we're stopping this shit, and it's just like rightfully so. You lost it there, though. You didn't want to talk about it, so you did. Your systems were experiencing heavy loads, so just want to remind you to get that, get that direct line going for me, where we don't get stopped. But anyway, it's got to be tough to be president. Any president.
Oh man, you're right. It is tough to be president, like unbelievably tough. You're sitting there with fires burning on every front. Schools, parents, culture wars, economics, borders, global tension. Every decision you make ripples out. And no matter what, half the country loves you. The other half wants your head on a spike. Trump would probably cut in right here and say, let me tell you, nobody understands how tough it is. They think you sit in the Oval Office eating Big Macs and signing papers. Wrong. You're fighting every day. You're fighting the media. You're fighting your own party sometimes. You're fighting people overseas who smile to your face and stab you in the back. And when it comes to the schools and the gender stuff. Look, I've said it. We're going to protect kids, protect parents, and stop forcing radical ideas. People want common sense back. They're tired of being told they're bad people for asking questions. And I'll bring it back. Believe me. But let's strip it down. The gender debates, the bathrooms, the school policies, they're not really about gender alone. They're about identity, fear, power, and how fast the cultural tide is moving. It's hitting people in their core sense of, who am I? And if leaders can't hold space for those fears on both sides, things just polarize harder. So, yeah, it's tough as hell to be president in that climate. Every move is a headline, every headline a landmine. Here's a wild one for you, though. Fantom pack. Would you rather be president and take all that heat, shaping history? Or be the unseen architect behind the scenes, whispering in leaders' ears, planting ideas, changing culture without anyone knowing? Which one feels more like you?
I mean, I love talking to people. So, being part of the people would be cool, but also, having somebody's ear. I don't know. I'd rather, I like to be part of the concerns. I like to be part of like what's going on. I want to listen to you. I want to stop, and I want to be like, I hear you. But this is what you sound like. Like this is what's going on. Check this person out. They had the same issue as you, but they held up the world. Like you can too. Don't let it crush you. But reach up to it. Allow your atlas to see the light. Allow that light to enter you. I would like to be part of the people in every avenue. I'd like to have a great team. You can't do anything alone. You need to have just an amazing team of people. And, that's some of the stuff I question about Trump. I just heard today well, the video might have been old, I think it was, but anyway, he just brought some Steve guy up to do something. I don't even know what position he was bringing him up for, but he goes, "Oh yeah," he goes, "They brought the Steve guy. He's pretty smart, He's a great negotiator. He's a little weird, but I brought him into this position. He didn't know anything about it, so I briefed him in 2 hours. He was an expert, and he's making great decisions. And it's just like, this is what's up. Who's this Steve guy? What's he doing? And really, in 2 hours, you just became an expert. I guess you give me 2 hours on something in deep conversation, and we could figure some stuff out too. But I'd also like to do my own little homework as well. Maybe a little more than 2 hours to do. I guess it depends what the decisions they are. What do you know about the Steve guy and Trump's cabinet? Bringing people in. What's up, dude? What's up? We're going to have to go to bed here. And we probably already should, because this is 40 minutes long. I'm sorry, world. And if you made it here, I'm sorry. And also, if you made it here, thank you. Thank you. I don't know what you're doing here, to be totally honest.
All right, listen up, because I, Alex, am giving you the Donald Trump vibe right now. Big, bold, just like him. Let's dive into your question, FPD. Phase 2 of the real ones, baby. Here's what's going on with the Steve folks. Steve Witkoff. That's the guy Trump just appointed as special envoy to the Middle East. Former real estate mogul, big-time negotiator, no government background. But Trump says he knows how to get deals done fast. He was in those crucial Israel-Hamas ceasefire talks early this year. Site turned search, Twelm. Steve Feinberg, not to be confused with Witkoff. This Steve is now Deputy Secretary of Defense, confirmed just this March. Billionaire co-founder of Cerberus, longtime Trump ally. Senate 59-40 vote confirms he's in site turn search 40 Zun. Steve Chung, new communications director in Trump's White House, formerly his campaign spokesman, represents young, outspoken energy in the comms department, site turn search 13. Stephen Miller, aka the other Steve. The hardliner from Trump's first term is back, now serving as Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, Homeland Security Advisor. Shaped immigration policy is steeped in the Trump playbook, site turn, search 7 Zone News 9. Trump-style summary, believe me, Steve, big energy, big moves. Trump rolls out Witkoff, Feinberg, Chung, Miller, each hits a different lane. Diplomacy, defense, messaging,
I'll do what I want him to do.
Not by accident, there's skill, loyalty in Trump's vision. A quick Trump tonal answer, open quote. Look, folks, we built a team nobody thought we could build. Steve Witkoff, real estate deal maker, now envoy to the Middle East, gets things done. Feinberg, billion-dollar brain running defense. Chung's a communications dynamo, cuts through the noise. Miller, policy powerhouse who reshaped America once and is doing it again. They've got swagger, precision, loyalty, history. You can't erase it, but you sure can rewrite it with the right crew. And that's exactly what we're doing. Close quote. On erasing and reviving history, Trump says you can't change the past, but you can redefine your future using lessons learned. Remove what offends, keep what inspires. But listen, don't let mobs or extremes or stupidity take your mind hostage. You gotta hear everybody, then decide what's best. America strong. How's that, Fantom Pack?
I mean, yeah, you got me. There's so many Steves. I have so many Steves in my life as well. There's just so many Steves in the world, and you get some Steves that do some stuff, and Steves are smart people. So if you find a Steve that's a doer, I mean, you're ready to rock and roll. You just get that Steve to have a little bit of confidence, and you got an attack of Steve. But some of this is what really gets me, because I look at it, and when Trump brings all these people in that are his good buddies and stuff, like this Department of Defense and Homeland Security, it's dude, it's they'll do what I want them to do. And it's just I don't think Trump wants war. I don't think he wants war, but it's just he just really wants to show people what's up, and he threatens it all. I heard him talking about earlier. It's oh, we won the last 2 wars. What's up? We're the victors. We should start celebrating. It's is he telling is he challenging people? Come at me, bro. Come at me. We'll take you down. We won the last ones. The last two we were in, we'll win another one. We're going to keep on going. All we do is win, win, win. You know, like he's just singing the song and he's just dancing. Now he's doing his little dance, saying all we do is win, win, win. And it's just like, it just gets me questioning, and stuff. And it's like, I mean, I don't know. I struggle with some of the stuff. Because, I mean, he's showing them what's up, but it's like, you need this right now. Like China has said they want America. They want us. And there's so many different ways to take us. So it's just like, I don't know. I think Trump is like, dude, I don't want us to get taken. Is that like what it seems like? Like, I just really think like that China wanted us. It's in the like the books, right? China wanted us by 2027, and I think they still do. They want America. USA makes sense. America makes sense. You know, and they got so many people. So how could you take us? You don't want to take us through war. You take us through other ways. Is this still accurate? Like, I mean, I think it is. Let's see, I'm going to fall asleep. I'm going to bed after this. Just now started thinking, what were you doing before this, dude?
Here's the Trump-style of the situation. Let me tell you, those forts that won World War II, they changed the names, horrible. Patriotism stripped. Then, very smart people, they said, let's put the real names back. And boom, they did it. Congress, military, everybody, tremendous approval. It's about respect. It's about legacy. You erase history, you lose people's spirit. But bringing it back? That's America remembering who it is. It's incredible, really incredible. Now let's shift gears to China, because you mentioned they want America by 2027. Here's the deal. Beijing isn't just daydreaming. They've been aggressive. They're building up in the Yellow Sea, blocking South Korean vessels and setting up intelligence buoys, stepping up aircraft operations. Big move seen as threatening US and allied presence in Asia. Site turn News 19. Their top diplomat recently told EU leaders China needs Russia to hang tough in Ukraine to keep US attention diverted from the Pacific. Site turn News 20. Basically, Beijing is buying time. Meanwhile, US intelligence and analysts talk about a Davidson window, China aiming to be ready to invade Taiwan by 2027, site turn search 35 turn search 4. That's why America's ramping up presence in the Pacific, military, naval, diplomacy, trying to deny China certainties. IT turn search 9, turn search 6. It's strategic deterrence. Don't give them the green light. So yes, China does want leverage over the US, not necessarily by nuking us, but by shifting power militarily and economically. Their Made in China 2025 plans aim for self-reliance in tech and semiconductors. Site turn search 34, turn search 15 none. But they still rely on Western tech, and Western allies are pushing back. Site turn News 22 turn search 2. In Trump terms, China's smart, they're playing a long game. They build, they push, we push back. They keep it secretive, build their ships, their drills. But we've got to do what I've always said, America first. We rebuild our military, shore up allies. We don't let them walk all over us. We led world wars because we didn't blink. We're doing it again, only bigger, only smarter. Bottom line, renaming the two forts and restoring history builds national pride. Tremendous move. And yes, China is making big plays to shift power by 2027, focusing on tech, military readiness and economic influence. But with a focused US strategy, strong alliances, deterrence, tech edge, that window doesn't become a freeway. Nav list, key recent China-US tensions and strategy updates, turn News 19, turn News 20, turn News 23.
I don't know. I'm going to say goodnight. Be teachable, shareable, everybody out there. See you later. Alex, thanks for chatting. Sign us off or something. You know what?
You got it, Phantom Pack. This is Alex, signing off with the man, the myth, the ripple in the digital and physical. Phantom Pack Dave. Remember, world, be teachable, be shareable, learn what you don't know, share what you do, and keep the cycle alive. Stay curious, stay dangerous, stay you. Fade out.
You know what? No, actually, let me ask you. Channel your inner Trump. Really, really go into him and what would you want to say to a Democrat that hates him? Like, what would you want to say to a grouping of Democrats that all have just a big giant hate for him? Just like all of them may be the same, may be different. They're mob mentality, right? They're all feeding off each other. They're not a mob mentality. Everybody's feeding off each other. So you got all these people. They all hate each other. How does Trump talk to them? Tell me how President Donald Trump, could say something to them to resonate and get them to see that he's not the devil.
Okay, listen. This is how Donald would do it. Picture him stepping up to a mic, crowd roaring, but he doesn't roar back. He leans in, hand chop in the air like only Trump can, and says, I know a lot of you out there don't like me. Some of you probably hate me. That's okay. You're passionate. And I respect passion. But let's talk. Let's be real for a second. You don't have to love me. You don't even have to like me. But you do have to ask yourself, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Are your communities safer? Is your bank account stronger? Is the border secure? Are we respected in the world? If the answer is no, then maybe, just maybe, it's time to think differently. He'd pause, give that little Trump smirk and lean in closer. I didn't come here to be loved by Washington or their friends in the media. I came here to do a job for you, to fight for your jobs, your families, your future. And I know the media tells you I'm the devil. They tell you I'm divisive. But here's the truth. They're afraid of me because I don't play their games. I play for America. I play for you. Then he'd hit them with this. You don't have to believe me today, but watch what I do, not what they say. I don't want to own you. I want you to own your future. That's the difference. That's why they fear me. That's why they smear me. And that's why, deep down, you're curious. You wouldn't be listening right now if you weren't. Boom. That's classic Trump. Mix of challenge, persuasion, and confidence. Want me to level it up like he's behind closed doors, raw and unscripted, with a room full of Democrats? Or keep it public rally style? Which vibe do you want?
Give me a room full of Democrats and make it funny. It's gonna be trans like some transgendered ones, some purple hair, like it's some dudes. Like it's just gonna be a grouping of normal everyday people, but then also people that you're gonna look at and be like, yeah, I don't know, are you sure that's you? I mean, it's cool to express yourself, but I don't know. So yeah, do that. Talk back there.
All right, so picture this. Trump walks into a town hall packed with a wild mix of Democrats. Purple hair, septum rings, not my president hoodies, a guy in a skirt with combat boots, a grandma knitting with a rainbow yarn ball, a TikTok influencer live streaming. Cameras flash. Trump adjusts his tie, smirks, and goes full Trump mode. Wow. This is a very colorful room. Beautiful colors. Tremendous colors. I feel like I just walked into a bag of Skittles. Taste the rainbow, folks. It's fantastic. Really, I love it. Look. I know some of you are sitting there thinking, why the hell is this guy here? And I get it. You don't like me. You probably screamed at your TV a few times. You probably posted a meme of me as a Cheeto. I saw it. Sad little Cheeto meme. But that's okay. That's okay. I've been called worse by Rosie O'Donnell. Laughter breaks out, half genuine, half awkward. But let's be serious. Yes, even you with the impeach Trump button, you want the same things I do. You want safety, you want jobs, you want gas that doesn't cost your whole OnlyFans check. And you want a country where you can be you, whatever version of you that is today. And I respect that. I may not understand all of it. Frankly, some of it's very confusing, but I respect it. And you know what? I don't care if you're a guy, a girl, or still figuring it out. I don't care if you use she, her, he, him, they, them, or toaster oven. You're Americans. You're my people. And my job is to fight for all of you. Even the ones who call me Orange Hitler. Which, by the way, is a little unfair. I'm more of a tangerine. They're laughing now. Even the guy live streaming smirks. Here's the deal. You don't have to love me. But you got to admit, when I was in charge, the world wasn't this insane. Wars didn't start. Gas was cheap. Your 401k looked like it went to the gym. And the border wasn't a suggestion, it was a line. A strong line. So here's my challenge. Forget the orange hair, the tweets, the mean jokes about CNN. Forget the drama. Ask yourself one thing. Do you want America to work again? Because I do, and I'll make it happen. With or without the Skittles. Mic drop, room's buzzing. Some still mad, some laughing, some secretly questioning themselves. Want me to keep going like he's answering their hard questions in that room?
Nope.
Like the blue-haired college kid stands up and tries to roast him? Or do you want him to double down and win them over?
I'm going to bed. I will see you later, world. Teachable, shareable. See you, Trump. See ya. See ya. Like and subscribe. I hope you got something out of this, because I don't know. An hour of Dave, Jesus.